I'm Ed Luttrell, and volunteers are a precious resource for every organization. There is a cycle that members go through, and that every team leader needs to be aware of this cycle. The volunteer cycle, step 1. What can I do in my free time? Everyone has free time. Some use it for personal recreation, and others use it to build their sense of worth. Volunteering in organizations in which people have an interest is one of the ways they can and do spend their free time. From the time a person says, "I'll help out," to the time they discontinue their activity, they will go through this cycle again and again. Step 2. This organization seems okay to me. Once the person is a volunteer, they start to fit into your group. They learn about the principles and values of your organization, and they begin to feel like part of the family. Step 3. I think I'm going to like it here. The member participates and takes an interest in the projects and activities of your group. They refer to it as my organization. They count their fellow volunteers as friends. Step 4. Oops! I'm having some second thoughts. Something happens. Someone says an unkind or insulting word to the volunteer. The volunteer realizes that others expect them to do certain jobs. They don't like the color you chose. The volunteer reads the rules. It doesn't matter what happened. It just matters that it did happen. Step 5. Hey, this isn't what I had in mind. The volunteer gets angry, frustrated, or disgusted with the organization or a fellow volunteer or staff member of your group. At this point, the volunteer will make one of 3 choices. Which choice they make often will depend upon what you and your fellow team members do. First possible choice, when you hear, "Hey, this isn't what I had in mind." Step 6. Better talk it over. You or another concerned volunteer will talk to the volunteer and find out what the problem is. You and the volunteer decide what the problem is and create a solution. You emphasize what the mission of the organization could mean for the volunteer. Step 7. And make some minor adjustments. You and the volunteer implement the solution that fixes the problem. The volunteer is now back at this organization seems okay to me, and begins the cycle over. Second possible choice when you hear, "Hey, this isn't what I had in mind." Step 6. Evaluation is in order. You and the volunteer talk over the problem. Both of you decide it affects the entire organization. Formally or informally, you and the group began to evaluate the problem. Step 7. Major changes indicated. From your group's evaluation, you find there are limiting factors or problems with the organization. Step 8. Major changes for the better. Your organization looks at the problem and changes to fix the problem. The volunteer sees that your organization is responsive to their needs and is back at, "This organization seems okay to me," and begins the cycle over. Third possible choice when you hear, "Hey, this isn't what I had in mind." Step 6. Bye. The person quits volunteering. Your organization now has at best one disgruntled former volunteer. At worst, you now have a voice in the community who says your group is not fair, nice, good, or worthwhile. Every volunteer goes through this cycle. Some people seem to go through it completely every day, while others may seem to take years for one cycle. When you build a team, you not only can accomplish more, but you have more opportunities to use choices 1 and 2. People who are not part of the team choose option 3 easier. Understand this cycle of volunteerism and keep people from leaving the team and saying bye.